Showtime. What's going on, my friend?
Hi, buddy. How are you?
Good. You're finally on time for once.
Thank you.
Jay Molner's waiting patiently. I'm glad he's off work today. So he messaged me. He goes, I'm off today. The only thing I'm doing is watching the fourth quarter show.
Get the hell out of here.
That's what Joel Molner was saying.
He's still involved in RC racing, that guy?
He's a young kid. He's got a big mouth.
Yeah.
A few things. We can't waste any time. We got a jam-packed show tonight. I'm very excited. We have Clayton Young on. For people that don't know, Roar president. So we got lots to talk to him about, a lot of questions about Roar and everything in general, but we got some stuff before. ETS went down this past weekend. And I think a shock what happened at ETS this weekend. Safe to say?
Yes.
Okay. So
roll the film.
Few things. So Mark's gone. Okay. What's going on, everybody? Jordan in the house. Sprinkles in the house. Nate Snyder in the house. Nate, how are you, my friend? So the first clip I want to show quickly at ETS, from ETS, is between, and this is why I love asphalt racing, between Jan Rothyski and, is this going to work?
What the hell?
Between Jan Rothyski and Eric Dankel coming down the straightaway.
How many dogs we got?
Coming down the straightaway. Let me know what you guys think of this clip. Big wreck at ETS.
Okay, hey.
Bam.
Hey.
Whose fault do you think that was, Mark? You ready?
Say that again? I think I seen that one. Yeah, it's the guy in the back.
Yes, I agree.
It's
Jan's fault. Sorry, Jan. I know you were supposed to be on the show last week.
It's bad to say, but odds are
Yes.
usually it's always the guy in the back. That guy it doesn't look like he moved over or anything.
And in my opinion, even if he did move over, you're going 110 kilometers or 120 kilometers down the straightaway.
Yeah, and Max, I don't know if you ever ran out of track that big or that wide or whatever. Seeing that view, that straightaway does not look, you know what I mean? So
they got the quick bend at the end.
Yeah, but I mean, like your depth perception, that track, I don't know how wide that is, but you ran on some track, you know what I mean? It's going to be more narrow.
Yes.
Right?
So that's the first one that there was a lot of drama. A lot of people blamed Eric, the front car here, saying that he moved up the track a little bit.
He might have.
He might have. But again, we're talking moving millimeters on a track here to cause that collision. I think it was a very aggressive move from Jan. This was for the bump spot from the B main to go into the A. So both guys destroyed their chances of going into the A. So, yeah, very aggressive move.
Have you, it's bad to say, I love Jan, right, as well, but have you ever passed somebody down the straightaway before, really? No. The odds are you're not going to make that pass.
No. And you're going into a left-handed kink, into a left-handed 180 at the end of the straightaway. You're on the outside.
If I was in front, would I have moved over a little bit? Oh, yeah, hell yeah. Would I expect you to back off? Yes.
Yes. So that's the first clip.
Okay.
Second clip, a lot of drama in the Pro Stock division between Adam Izze and Oliver Boltnick. Okay. So I'll show you the clip that everyone's talking about where Adam got into the back of Aldner fighting in A3. This one here. So we saw a lot of drama about it online. Osmatics had their take. Adam and them didn't say much. So, clear as day, Adam got into the back of him. Right? Adam's fault there.
I think it's that pink car's fault the whole time. If he had stopped and waited for those two, it would have been fine.
Yeah. I mean, Adam stayed tighter to that first corner here. This one right there. As you can see, he got a way better run. You got to think these cars are all spec timing, spec FDR, spec motor. So it's not like they have a big speed difference. And you can see down the straightaway, they're the exact same speed. But very interesting. So Adam got into him. Was Adam's fault? 100%. Adam got into the back of Aldner, no problem. So that went crazy. But I'd like to show everyone, no one's talking about what happened in A1 between these two drivers. So I'll watch the A1 clip. And then we'll see, it might be blurry, but as you can see, this is Adam in front, the orange car. Oh, shit, I'm not sharing. No memento. Share screen. So this is A1 between the same two drivers. Okay. So obviously Oliver in front, Adams behind him. Jan Rthyski's gone.
Number one's up next.
Ready? So here's the corner.
You got him on the inside.
Yep.
Oh, Baltic opens it up.
Oh.
So tough call. So
One's up next.
it's hard because this is from the live stream. No one brought this clip up. So I'll slow it down here and pause it. Oliver gets on the curb. He goes sideways. He's clearly, as we talk about, lost control of his car. Adam's clearly on the inside, but here you see that tag there.
Oh, Baltic.
Tough call.
Yeah, this is not big high-end racing, Max. There's no give for anybody, right? So it's bad.
Number one's up next.
In fast speed, it's hard to say.
Oh, Baltic opens.
Because just say if that was club racing, you would lift and give him the inside and hopefully come back, right? But the odds are with these, you're not gonna at this level.
It's tough.
Number one's up next.
Yeah. I feel like they both got a piece of each other in A1 here, as we saw in A3. Both races got negatively affected.
Yeah.
Oliver's obviously got more because he lost a lot more spaces than Adam did here. But again, same thing. In my opinion, Oliver got the back of Adam and didn't wait. So I think they both did things wrong. I just saw a lot of hate on Adam for his A3 move.
Yeah.
But tough weekend at ETS. If you didn't see, Orlowski gave us a shout out on our show, on our press coast. Well, we put our ETS results up, who we thought was going to go where.
Okay.
You had Orlowski 3. I had Orlowski 5. Okay. I'm sorry, Mikal. He commented on our post. This will be the last thing we show before we bring on our guest, but we will bring it up. Because, when you make a decision and you look back, you kind of think to yourself, what the hell was I thinking? So I'll share it. Let me know if you guys can hear it okay.
He actually said no.
Some other predictions for this ETS, and I think someone put me in 5th. So I kind of gave me a bit more motivation and fire to prove that I'm.
Someone put him in 5th. That was my dumbass that put him in 5th. Okay? So I apologized.
Hey, you got him to win.
We got him to win. He said we motivated him. And from now on, he says, always put me in 5th in the comments. So we'll always put Mikko Orlowski in 5th place.
Well, look at my boy Alex. First time ever, I didn't put him in the top 5. Love the man. And look where he finished.
It's true. You always put Alex in the top 5. The one time you didn't, he has a hell of a run and goes 3rd.
Yeah.
So we need to reorganize and think. But that was the ETS conflict. Let's run it up. Yeah. I don't want to waste too much time. And it's good because we have someone who watched those clips with us quickly in the back here. Maybe they can give us a little bit of insight on what they think on those two collisions.
Okay.
But let's not wait any longer. Ladies and gentlemen, very fast racer, Roar president, someone who's needed in the RC community and does a lot for us. Let's all welcome Mr. Clayton Young.
Doing that round of applause.
Thanks,
Clayton,
guys.
how are
I
you, my
watched those clips. That was actually entertaining. I saw the Rthyski one, but I hadn't seen the other two. And I was experiencing kind of the same thing this weekend, some X-ray on Awesomatics cram. So,
what else is new? So you saw the Jan clip, obviously, of them going off the straightaway. When you see something like that, what are your thoughts?
So that one was kind of hard because the guy that was in front, I forgot who was in front of Rthyski, was in the loose stuff. So he was trying to get back up onto the line to get some grip as Rthyski has some kind of run. I had the same experience this weekend, and I lifted multiple times because at the end of the day, especially towards the beginning of the race, it's not you're just giving up everything. Like you guys had said, they're both done. So
yeah,
if one of you guys doesn't have the common mental sense to lift when you're not in a real alongside position, those things are going to happen. I had a guy that had a really fast X-ray all weekend, just like. Yeah, there is one clip where he missed trying to get to my rear, But he got to my rear, got me squarely, and then got alongside and took off with no lifting. And the race announcer was like, "Oh yeah, that was a decent pass." I'm like, there's nothing decent about that. I'm like, dude, they got to get their front tire at least alongside your rear tire. It should be in front of your rear tire before it's really considered alongside. And if you're arcing into a corner, if they're beelining the corner, in no way is that alongside. Like,
That's what we always say.
Line. And it was proven later in the A3, he blew the line so bad he went like a foot and a half outside the corner. Like, there was no way for him to make the corner without your car there. So it's just like that's. When I'm officiating, which I will be doing in this weekend coming up and in a couple weeks, I tell the guys, it's on you. So I know you make mistakes. If you get into somebody, lift. Otherwise, you're going to get a penalty. I don't catch everything, but I do catch a lot, and we'll have extra people there. So at the end of the day, you're going to have to race that same guy again at some point. And racers, as you all know, don't forget.
It always comes back to them.
He calls me the most petty person ever because I never forget something. So, and he's right. I should be able to move on, but sometimes you're irritated and you want some revenge. So I put a bunch of stiffeners on my body just in case I needed it for the last couple mains. But it's all good. It's racing, yeah.
Yeah.
Rubbin's racing.
No, I'm like you, Clayton. I've said some bad stuff over the years. I was one of our first 2 Canadian Nats we ever did. Some guy just smoked me in a qual. I was on a T2 run, and the guy just lit me up. And you're supposed to be running the event, and I was wrong. They pulled me aside and said, "Mark, it's your event. You can't talk." But I said to the guy, I said, "Yes, we'll be in the A. I know odds are I'm not going to win, but you know what? You're not going to win. So the best thing is probably not even run the main tomorrow." And they're like, "Mark, this guy paid to come to the Canadian. You're talking to him like that?" I said, "Well, just let him know." So it's up to you.
Well, what sucked in A1 was it was for the lead. Like, I had made a pass because I started second. He started fourth or third. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And I was door to door with the guy. We'd raced really clean, and like it was just really good moves. And then to just get hit from behind, you're just like,
death. Yeah. And it's over. And that's the worst part. It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you lived to fight another day.
Where'd you race this weekend,
so
Jackson?
Can't get to my back door next time.
Where'd you race, Jackson, this weekend?
Yeah, Jackson. It was like an impromptu, everybody come race kind of thing. They did amazing at marketing that and putting out who was coming. And we got little magnets. I got it on my refrigerator now. It's my cartoon character of me with my sponsors and everything. And
nice.
goodie bags. It was really well put together.
Very cool.
Nice. Awesome. I saw it looked good. Everyone was happy in the pits. So it looked like a great time.
Yeah, it was really fun.
You saw those first 2 clips we showed there with Adam on Oliver and then Oliver on Adam. Safe to say both of those guys in each clips are in the wrong?
Yeah. Like they should have called Oliver, even though he lost control of his car and hit him. He hit him. Like, you lost control of your car. You should have waited, let him get back around. I get it. It's at the top of the sport. And there's times where if the announcer doesn't call it, then you just don't stop because that's paychecks for them. So yeah. I can understand that. But yeah, those were fairly obvious to me.
Yeah, I agree. Both guys are in the wrong, and
yep,
it is what it is, I guess. There's a good point that Mark and I talk about a lot about racing and how in RC we do a shit ton of qualifying and very little racing. I think that's a product of how the RC race format is set up.
Yeah, I agree, actually. I'd like to see more of almost like a Saturday night kind of deal where you do some qualifying or do your seating, then break you up into your races. So your top 4 guys would be the top qualifier in each 4 heats, and then put the next row down and then do some qualifying. So bump up a couple from each heat and then have a last chance qualifier to make it more racing. I think that's where we struggle, at least in the US, is we qualify, and then we got to race door to door, and 80% of the guys don't know how to race door to door clean. No. So then they end up wrecking, and it's not because they really want to most of the time. I'm sure sometimes it is, but most of the time it's just because they don't have the experience. No. I have a good friend, Danny Jenkins, who we've raced together door to door, front to back, for years. And we were back at that race for first time in a long time. And sure enough, we're the same pace and, playing with each other. We ended up having a little more contact than normal, but it's racing with people that you trust that aren't going to take you out that makes it fun. Like,
Yeah.
The crowd gets excited when you don't wreck somebody. You dive inside and make a clean pass, and everybody keeps on going. So yeah, I don't know how to get authority to change it, because as president of WARR, you think you could just make whatever changes you want, but you really need the community to be behind the whole thing. So I don't see it changing anytime soon, because everybody's used to it. It's been that way for a million years, and
Yeah.
it would probably have to be some kind of special event where something like that was worked out in advance, and all the drivers knew that's what was coming, and then maybe it'll catch on. I know in oval they do it across a lot of the classes, but it just
You're
hasn't
so
migrated to anything else.
you're so right, Clayton. Guys in this hobby don't like change at all, right?
No.
We tried some stuff like that at a club race one time where Mike came up with this system. This is back at the Outlaw Truck, the big one that was at the mall, and just for change it up, right? And I think it was like you said, they did a little heat set thing, and then whatever, and then some guy was upset because he was there for the day and didn't get a race against Bryce. Well, usually he is running against Bryce, but the way it's shuffled and everything else, and he just added points. So it was like 4 rounds, but they all counted as points and whatever else, just something different. It was just a club race. But this guy, I still remember being very upset that he traveled his regular hour and a half to come, and he didn't get to run against Bryce all day. And I said, well, just the way the computer shuffled, guy, you know what I mean? What's it really, to me, it was just trying something different. Another guy said, I don't know how this is working. If you guys do this again, I won't come back.
And honestly, if you race against the same people all the time, unless it's the top guys, you're not getting any better. Fortunately, our hobby towns in the area that I'm at down here in Virginia, it started off with the TTO2s and low-C NASCARs, real quick stuff they could get into fairly cheap. And over the last 4 years, I think, since they started, they've gone from like 23 entries to 100 something every week that they do it. They only race once a month in each store. So it's only a couple times a month that you have to go. But those guys then went to Snowbirds. There was a couple of them that came to Snowbirds with me, and they did really good. I think that's how you grow the sport, is start with the small stuff and let them want to progress up to the new stuff. But it was really, really nice to see a local thing get to a Snowbirds national caliber kind of race thing.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, the qualifying is, and also it gets boring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just racing the clock all the time. Like, I don't know. I get kind of bored of it now sometimes, to be completely honest with you guys. Like at Cleveland, for example, just because it's 2 long days, just racing the clock for 2 days straight.
Yeah, it's hard for a spectator to watch. Like I've tried to talk to ESPN a couple of times about being able to get stuff on, and there a few things. One, they couldn't relate to a car to know who was driving it and who was the leader, especially in our seeding qualifying format. You're on your own clock, so there needs to be a lot of explanation to the people trying to watch and figure out who's where. And the other thing was that it was just not like a sellable format for a spectator.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we find that at the mall race all the time. People are standing watching. It's nice on Saturday. They're standing 3 deep watching, but you hear them talking. They announcing. You could say the yellow car's the leader. This 1 second. This or their names, and they always come over and ask, how's this work and why is that guy the leader, right? Stuff like that. You guys,
explain. It's like a marathon. A lot of the marathon.
You're running against the clock, not each other right now.
Yeah. I think it can get to be entertaining, but it's going to be a large lift.
Well, the coolest thing is that we're going to do at the Canadian Nats, and me and Max were talking about that as well. As it's ROAR that does it, right? The qual points, at least. That changed.
We switched everything to qual points.
I know our regular guys or Canadian guys or at the Nats won't understand what the hell's going on at first, but we'll have to explain that thing months ahead on this. So it's not your one and done. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I think the 12 points at least makes qualifying a little more interesting, I guess you want to call it like that, right? Because what is it? 3 out of 4 count?
2 out of 4.
2 out of 4. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so 2 out of 4 count.
So like your best 2 runs, you don't have to worry if you broke every other run. You still have 2 good runs to fall back on.
Yeah.
The other thing it does is instead of some guy who did drive an amazing one race, but then gets in the main with guys he can't drive with, the main's not all messed up because it rewards a little bit more consistency than just one good run.
Yeah, we seen that in Cleveland one time. It was Mod, and the poor guy broke every run. Then on the 4th run, he's on the track with only 3 cars, and then one broke. There's only 2 cars. The guy put himself like 6th or 7th in the main. Which he did. He deserved it. He ran that well, but there was nobody else on the track.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the rocket round, while it can create some interest on the last round, the first few rounds create basically no interest, and so you're like just relying on one good run.
And you already know if Sam lays down, let's say Sam or Kevin, a good run in Q1. It's not going to hold. If that's their best run, it's not going to stay for the rest of the weekend. Naturally, the track will progress to be faster on the day 2. You've seen it every year.
Sometimes it can, but like you said, most of the time, the track gets a little bit more grippy. Sometimes it gets greasy, but
if it's a permanent track,
you can't fall back to a TQ on your Q1 time. You might make the show on your Q1 time if you then hit the struggle bus, but it's not typically going to be the TQ.
You think a Reedy format would work at Roar events or an on-road racing in general at these big races?
So an actual like weighted seated instead of just a random sort, I think could work. I think that was the struggle. Like the last Reedy race that on-road did was in California, the track that shut down at California Speedway. I can't remember.
Track?
No, there was they did it at the California Speedway. There was a track
the big Steel
the
City.
Steel City.
Yeah.
That big
that they did a Reedy format there, but it wasn't based on like a math thing. So like Mike G started in the back half of the field 6 of the 8 rounds or something like that. It wasn't so that everybody got to start in a certain position. It was kind of like a random sort and where you ended up. So I think if it was done mathematically, like a football table for fantasy football or something where it's a fixed thing, so you're always going to have at least one start in this spot, it probably would be fine. That I would use that more for like an all-star kind of thing than a race.
Than a Nats.
Yeah. I still think having people races to get in would be good. It's worked for regular racing for years, so I don't know. It's a lot of things to look at. It's not even on our radar to change right now. Try to clean up everything and get everybody in good positions to move forward.
So that's a great lead into our next point. What is Roar's biggest priorities and biggest things you're looking at, currently for this coming year, next year, et cetera?
So right now we have a promotions director spot open. Toby was doing it. He resigned. We are selecting a electric 1/8 world's track and a 1/12 scale on-road carpet world's track. Those are our high priorities. We got to open up Nats for 1/8 off-road and nitro on-road because those races are coming up, and we like having the next track announced at the race, so they got a year to prep, and everybody can know they can start going to the track and doing things. But we got behind the power curve with these worlds bids, so it probably won't be announced at the race. We're cleaning up rules always, constantly. A constantly going to these races, even this weekend, and getting earfuls of why we do this, why we do that. And I'm like, where is that written? It's in this page 75 under this watering section of the track. I'm like, what? Whoa. Why is that not under the off-road section? So we're constantly getting little things to amend, update, fix. Yeah, once we get a promotions director, I'd really like to get some outside sponsorship into the sport so that the media stuff could grow and help market it. But then we also have partnerships with Delta Enterprise, whatever, so our members can get some discounts on those. Next year, we're also looking at changing entries for nationals covering membership. Like if you do 2 classes in a nationals, the membership will be covered instead of having to add the extra 40. You can't imagine how many times people say, I just didn't race nationals because that extra $40 for membership. I'm like, really? So for a price of tires, you're going to spend $3,000 for the weekend, and the $40 was the reason you're not doing it? Okay. I mean, to each your own. I get it.
Yeah.
The economy kind of still sucks. So,
No,
I understand.
and I know, Clayton, if you heard the podcast we did a couple times, I repeated the same thing, whether I was right or wrong. But I always felt, now being in the hobby for 40 years, and I remember when I first started, and everybody will remember, I always think that every track and everybody should be a Roar member. Easy peasy. Send in $40. Every track owner, whether you're a teardown setup, permanent track, should be a Roar member. Then it gives you guys, I don't know the details on that. I remember years ago, it was always a money shortage for Roar. Like say some battery companies send their batteries, time on taking apart motors or whatever. Someone's got to get paid for all this stuff, or should be.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, why can't everybody, we all use Roar rules, whether they say they don't, they do. Yes. And you have to use Roar, right? And it's everybody hates Roar, but you're supposed to, right? Everyone hates the guy that comes up with the rules.
Yeah.
But it's needed so much. So why not everybody have to be a Roar member? It's easy. Done.
Yeah, I mean, things are getting tighter. As you've seen online this year, a lot of hate of some drivers that hadn't attended nationals not getting into worlds. And I was like, look, that's your vessel. You want to get to a worlds, you're going to have to go through nationals. And as these nationals continue to fill up, and we get more and more tracks that want to host the nationals because people are going and the word's out. If you're not getting into nationals because it's full, then you should have been in regionals, because I will 100%. If you've gone to a regionals and you can't get into a nationals, I will give you a spot. I will make a spot for you.
Hey, there's
the
a
same
question.
Kind of thing.
Do we still region up here?
Which region you in, or where you at?
I don't know. Where are we? It'd be Eastern Canada. Isn't it split in 2?
No, it's not. It's just one big Canadian region. Paul,
we're still 12. I think it was 12 years ago. We're still region 12.
I think it's just called Canada. I think region 12.
We're that big, baby. California. We're just called Canada now. That's
yeah.
One big region.
They're working on. Paul's working on another Roar Canadian Nationals for off-road. I don't know what he's got cooking for on-road, but he's already got stuff planned for next year's Canadian Nationals.
Who's that? Paul who?
Paul Parks. He's the region director
for Canada.
Is he? He's guy out west, right?
He's gonna be out west.
He's on BC.
He could be. I'm not exactly sure where he lives. Does this virtual, so you never know where anybody's at.
What does it take for us to be to hold a region on-road race? We have to talk to you and go over all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take a lot to host it. It's more making sure that you understand that the drivers have to be Roar members. You'll have to be Roar affiliated track. Follow Roar rules. If you need banners or any kind of support, we'll see who we have that's close to you that we can have come to the track. It's not a heavy lift on your side. Of course, all the entry money goes to the track for regionals. Yeah. So it's more just making sure that we're getting people written down in case somebody, gets hurt. They're covered because we have all their information. You have their information. Yeah. So it's not a huge lift. It's just some paperwork.
So we need to have one. Easy, done. That's it.
Can you explain for the people that don't know the difference between regional race, the national race, and then how do those work together to get you into the worlds, and explain maybe the block of Roar for the people that don't know and don't understand the regional stuff?
Sure. So the country, U.S., is broken into 12 regions, and Canada is its own region. The region directors, which we don't have region directors in every region, but we have a monthly meeting where we're going over what races they've got coming up, and we'll post them on Facebook. One of the things I want promotion director to do is have this master schedule. Not only do I want the regionals or any state races, Florida has some state races, but I want to have the big races that are already scheduled so that anybody can go at a glance and look at an easy schedule, what's happening in their area. The regionals then feed to nationals. Currently, you can just run a nationals because not all of them are full. But when they are full, if you've run a regionals and you're having trouble getting registered because they're closed or things are full, you just reach out to myself or the administrator, and we'll get you into the nationals. And nationals are where you're qualified for worlds. For example, the fuel this year, the semis, if you made the semis in Canada, I think we only took a percentage in Canada because the race attendance wasn't that great. And it wasn't really fair to say out of 350, we took 30. But in Canada, we're going to take another 15 out of 30. So we weighted it based on how many people entered each race. And then when we open them up, because we try and always get our drivers more spots, then it goes into basically your last couple years of nationals experience. And then if you don't have any of that, then you'll go into a lottery where it'll just be a random draw, just like you see on any internet thing. You'll be assigned a number, they'll spin the wheel, it'll come up with a number, and then we'll send you an invite to Worlds.
Now, do you guys decide on where the nationals are?
Yes.
Is it a bidding war or no?
It is. That's not a bidding war.
No, I don't know.
Like they don't pay to host nationals.
Yeah.
They submit their resume per se.
Okay. Yeah.
We have a national bid template. You just fill that out, send it in. Like I said, we'll be opening up 1/8 off-road and nitro on-road here shortly. Oh, sorry, my phone is going off.
His batteries are done. He's still charging.
Discharging storage. Oh, just my cousin. She doesn't even know I'm on.
Tell her to watch.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. I got totally sidetracked. Bid templates.
Bid template.
Yep.
Yeah.
You fill it in, and then what we'll do is we'll look at the locations. We'll look at how large the facility is to host. Previous big race experience. If you haven't held a big race, we would want you to hold a regional before you hold a nationals, so you're not overwhelmed with all the things that need to be expected. I mean, we bring in an RMT team, so running the race is on us, but it's your job to keep dirt track water so it's not falling apart, or bathrooms for everybody, tents, tables, chairs, on-road or indoor facilities for off-road and on-road aren't really big deal because most of them have that stuff permanently, but the outdoor tracks don't typically have enough for 350 entries at any given time. Some of the bigger tracks do, some don't, but it's a myriad of things that you would have to think about. Holding a warm-up race, so that's all on you. You make all the profit. But if you don't hold a warm-up race, you're not serving the community well because they didn't get a chance to come check things out before the nationals race. As well, you're going to have to make sure you can get enough tires for your spec tires, any fuel requirements for the nitro races, stuff like that in general. The tracks end up having to provide 2 people. One person is constantly with us, usually in tech. The other person's kind of like a floater if there's something that's going on with the track or bathrooms or electricity or whatever that we need to be able to get a hold of somebody to get those things fixed.
Gotcha. So there is a chance we can see Roar race in Canada.
Absolutely. We had one last year. For the first time in a super long time, from what I understand. It went really well. I mean, we had some rain, we had to dance around, but everybody there said that they were super excited to go to the next one because things weren't like the old Roar. It was, kind of run like, we're not here to disqualify you. We're here to make sure it's fair for everybody and work with you and make things good.
And my question is, what I don't understand is why is there a separate Roar race for Canada and the US if we're under one block? Like, for example, EFRA, they have it in different countries and it's all under EFRA. It doesn't matter if it's Germany, Poland, wherever. But we had a Canadian Roar, even though we're all under Roar.
To try and give Canada an area instead of having to drive down to the States all the time, to try and get some more representation up there, basically break the ice kind of thing. It would be good because, Kevin comes down all the time, but I don't even know what the border situation is right now. I know that I basically got interrogated just bringing all the RMT stuff through customs. I was in there for an hour trying to explain that we're racing remote control cars and these are measurement devices to check the fuel tanks, the tire widths. So you're making lots of money. I'm like, no, we're a nonprofit. we're not here to make money. We're here to hold an event and get some guys together and have a good time.
There's one, Clayton. So I heard rumors before, and I never asked you or somebody that was on top. So at the national event, say it was in a Roar on road championships in Canada here at say our local track, the Rose, and so it's Roar. So you guys come now. Does the track make the money, or the money goes to Roar, or you guys get a set paid amount to be here, or a set of entries?
So we take all the entry.
Okay.
There's $1,000 up front, $1,500, I believe. It's broken down in our guidelines. Once the event's complete, then there's certain thresholds where you can get bonus money. I think it's $175, and you get $20 for every entry on top of all the rest of the guarantees.
Goes back.
So the track gets some of the money. Most of the money is going into the trophy. We bring the trophies. We bring all the stuff. So it's basically covering the travel of the RMT team, trophies, and then any of the costs of shipping the stuff back and forth.
Gotcha. And announcing? Do you guys announce or no?
We bring the announcer too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The whole event. We're basically renting the facility.
Gotcha.
And listening to the people that have held nationals, they're like, "Oh, we're not making any money." So then that was the $20 increase, and it actually turned out to be a lot more than I thought it would be. Like you could have seen before this, a decent size 150 entry race, which is decent for our nationals. I know it's not the old historic. Yeah, we used to have 400 or 500 people. Yeah, we didn't have 25,000 classes, and we didn't have like all the big races all over the country. So yeah, I can get that. Yeah. But anyways, so they would typically get maybe 35, 30, maybe $4,000 or $5,000. They wouldn't get much. And then with this $20 per entry on top of everything, they're getting somewhere between like 9 to 13 grand. So
still good.
I'm sure it's not, they would like to see the whole profit, but then when you explain to them, yeah, I get that, but then are you paying for all the cups and trophies?
Yeah, and you don't have to run it either.
Right. And then you're going to have to pay for all these different positions. Yeah. The reason that the Roar races are the most fair in RC is because we bring a whole team with a whole bunch of equipment to make sure all the stuff's checked multiple times throughout the event. So you don't have to worry about somebody with a hot motor that's not legal anymore, or somebody putting boost in their Speedo. We're literally bringing oscilloscopes to these races and plugging stuff into their Speedos as soon as they come off the track. Just give me your radio. Don't touch anything. Where we want it to be as fair as possible. And we found some stuff, and we've reached out to manufacturers. You guys have seen the online stuff with different manufacturers doing different things. And we're like, no, like, whoa, I get in the old days, you guys could just bully or roar around and say, this is how you guys got to do this. But that's, I'm not that guy. So
cool.
Yeah. I've been to 2 Roar races now, and you're exceptional. They've organized very well. Tech has been amazing. It's really good. So I enjoy them, and I recommend to everyone to go to one, at least in their lifetime, if they can.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
John Wolf says he had a great time with you this weekend. So I'm assuming
Awesome.
he's not the one that ran through you.
No, I don't. No. Well, actually, one of them was my teammate. So like,
Oh, even better.
yeah.
Oh, you got to call
And
Hefty up.
the funny that was in stock, and then in super stock, I was behind him the whole time, and I'm like, see, we don't have to hit each other. But he's a good friend. It's all good.
Yeah.
Rotate National Florida. Get those interesting. Yes, sir. Wasn't John Wolf. You mentioned, okay, two things before we move on. You mentioned you guys looking for director of promotion. If there's anyone who watching this that may be interested, how can they apply or get involved in that position?
You can either email administrator at Row Racing or president at Row Racing, or you can reach me on Facebook, Clayton Young. If you see the one that's got a million friends that are the same as yours, it's probably me. I'll take any kind of reach out to look. What we're looking for is somebody that's going to promote the hobby, not just Roar. Be forward thinking in promoting our races, even our regional races, different graphic designs. As people have seen, with we came up with a different Roar logo, the AI generated and misspelled something, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, they misspelled!" And you're like, "Oh, come on, guys, that's your reaction. Isn't the graphic looks cool or doesn't look cool? It's you misspelled one word." Calm down. Thank you for letting us know. We'll fix it, but you don't have to be ugly about it. Nobody's perfect.
That's this hobby.
You have to be. You can't make no mistakes.
Right.
I say that to the local hobby shop around here, Skycraft. They said, listen, every car you sell, do you put "I can complain" and bitch sticker inside a card to free when you buy an RC car? Like, how do you complain about everything? These guys.
I mean, honestly, when I took over, everything was a complaint. Online, it was probably 95% negative. But lately, I mean, even over a year ago, maybe, I would say it's 50-50. There's times where we've done something wrong. And as much as I hate it, it is what it is. We try and make it right as possible and move on. But again, nobody's perfect. So mistakes are going to happen. All we can do is try and make sure they're not. Like we tell everybody now, don't trust what's online. We will double check all these results. We're still working with Live RC to get it all straight. Most of the stuff is good now. The only thing that isn't automatic is the main event winner isn't getting a 0. You have to manually go in and set that in Live RC.
And the one thing with Clayton is you always have to remind him. That's what I've learned this past week.
My
I
schedule.
thought you were kidding at first. I thought you were messing around.
No, I was like, okay, so I was in LCRC doing an off-road clinic, which was amazing. I mean, it couldn't have been more fun, more informational. Like I couldn't have dreamed of it. And then the next week was Coastal doing carpet on road. Then this week, Jackson doing paved on road. And next weekend is Nitro Nats in Illinois, which I will leave Wednesday. So that's what I was saying. My schedule is so fluid and going so many different places. The weekend after that, I go out to Chico a weekend early because I have a uncle who's turning 100. And I was like, oh, well, I'm from NorCal anyway, so I'll just go out the weekend prior to the Monday and then drive over to Sac on Monday and pick up the guys at the airport and run the race.
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate it. I'm not saying I would have forgot, definitely, but I probably would have forgot.
It's no problem. We do it every Monday, and Showtime still forgets sometimes, so it's all good.
Thanks.
It's
I'm
all
old.
good.
I'm old. You got to cut me a break. I'm old. Hey, well, I got a question for you before I forget. A couple local racers asked, and they said, if I ever got you on, why the change in making the motors non-epoxied? They wanted me to ask you, why couldn't you just leave it alone, and why can't we just keep running the same motors? I said, I'll ask. So
yeah,
what
so
happened?
that's kind of an easy one.
Okay.
They never were supposed to have epoxy.
Okay.
In the brush days, we're allowed to put some epoxy to keep the winds from spinning off the rotors.
Yeah.
And then somebody, like every racer, decided, oh, wait, there's not really rules against it, like exact rules against it. So they put some on.
Okay.
And at that point, Europe said, oh, hell no, this stuff can't be on. And Roar's like, oh, well, we're going to allow it. So it got allowed. The problem that creates is now motor manufacturers have to make different versions of motors, one for
Oh,
F-Roar, one for IFMAR, one for Roar. F-Roar and IFMAR typically were the same because we hadn't done the hostile takeover yet. But then as I started looking at things, all the American racers are running epoxy motors. Then we go to Worlds and we have motors without epoxy. So they don't get a chance to try and test and make everything that figure out what they're going to have to do. They have to start from scratch and figure it out. Where the rest of the world has already been running those motors, knows exactly what to do with them. It put us at a disadvantage on the world stage. So for me, it was a simple thing. It really never should have been allowed. It was let go to not create a bad time for somebody else, for a manufacturer.
Yes.
And then everybody then started slamming them with epoxy even more because, well, it doesn't say how much epoxy, and we're always allowing it. So it just kind of got out of hand. Kind of like our resistance numbers. The resistance numbers weren't based on science. They were based on some motors that the tech director at the time wanted to pick as to, we don't want the 25.5 to be any better than a Novak 25.5. Well, that stuff was created in the 80s or 90s. I don't know when brush start, really. I've been in and out of the sport because I was a Marine, so I didn't get serious about it until about 8 years, probably 9 years ago. Okay. So I don't have the whole historical background, but it just didn't. They weren't based on, hey, let's take a Trinity line of motors and then see what those resistance numbers are. They were like the 3.5 or 13.5, which had a legal wire, so nobody could ever even get to it. And then the 25.5 was a Novak, which they're stuffing stuff inside the lines to try and get the resistant number to be higher. And I'm like, this makes no sense. And the stator stack was different size for 25.5 than the rest of them. So for all the motor lines, you have one stator stack, except for 25.5. You have to have another stator stack, which caused Reedy a problem because their manufacturer got it screwed up. And so they had to do a lot of recalls and boom things around. So it was trying to get things, listen to manufacturers. How can we do things better? And looking at it as a racer, how do I prepare if I ever want to go to a Worlds? I'm doing all this racing, and then I get there and I can't run my motor because all the American ones are illegal. It just didn't make any sense.
And we have to the end of the year.
End of the year, then all the epoxy motors go away.
So Cleveland will be interesting then when it comes to Cleveland. If he allows them or not, or what's going to happen there. I don't want to be involved. Thank God I'm not running that race.
Yeah. My guess is Paul will probably just follow the Roar rules, which would be allowed. But again, it's not our race, so they can kind of do what they want.
I'm just throwing it out there. When we run the Canadian Nats, there's always something just before, and Paul always throws me a dig that we're lucky that we're last. So he goes, "You already went through rush, you went through snowbirds, you guys got it easy."
One of these days I got to get up there for that race. You got to find time to breathe first.
You'll be coming to this one. Put it that way.
Mike McBride asks, who is Roar sending to the Nitro On-Road Nationals this weekend?
It'll be myself, Tim Caparel, Josh, and I'm not sure who our fourth is. I think maybe Chris Crowder. Not sure.
If you ever need Mark and I to come out sometime, let us know. We'll yap on the mic nonstop.
And call races, announce, and all that other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We grab the mic at our local track. Him and I talk all the time on the mic, and they're like, oh shit, the race is done. We've been on track 7 minutes.
No. You have to focus on the race. We can't have an announcer that's talking about themselves. They have to talk about what's on the race.
Wait a minute.
We talk about what we're having for dinner later and what we're doing this week. And
while they're warming up, that's totally fine. But you only have a few minutes because we can't get behind schedule.
Okay. We'll be on schedule. Just depends whose schedule it is. You mentioned a word, and I'm sure you knew you were going to get asked this question in this conversation. 7-letter word, classes. Okay. I'm sure you maybe heard Mark and I's position on it. As Roar president, what is your thought process on the classes? Let's focus on road RC,
Yeah, we're mainly on-road guys, so
real racing over here, not fake racing.
I feel like we have too many classes. Not everybody needs to win a trophy. If I didn't win this weekend, if you don't win, you should try harder. Like,
What?
you've got to be driven to do better. And if everybody's getting a trophy, then like there's no goals. Like it makes no sense to me. Like I write software most of the time. That's like my day job. And when the code just works, it's like so disappointing. You're like, oh, okay, well, I got it right. But when you make a mistake, you're like, oh, yeah. And then it prompts you to like figure out other ways around the mistake or maybe even make it more efficient. But if everybody gets a trophy because we just make another class to get another trophy, then it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I mean, I'm anti multiple classes.
In your ideal world, then how many classes would you have, and what would they be?
For on-road race,
Yeah.
On-road race.
Yeah. Say
Yeah.
say touring. Start with touring car. What classes would there be?
it would be stock and mod.
Yep.
That's it.
Stock is 21.5.
Yeah, I would say stock should be 21.5. I understand, like, and I don't hate on the LMH or 25.5. Now I'm running 25.5 because now that's stock.
Yeah.
But I think it needs to be not the same guys. Like that's why I like pro stock. So the guys that want to keep running stock can run stock, but not take all the fun away from the guys who are coming up in the sport. I feel like there needs to be a place for them to grow and get better. I don't know if it's really a nationals. Like I'm always on the fence of nationals. Do we have the Funster classes to try and get entries up, or do we do it like off-road where it's nitro buggy, nitro truggy, and everybody's in the same field and you work your way up? Like I feel like you've got to be pressed to do better, but not just find another place to try and win a trophy, but to work on your stuff and get better.
Like I get upset with off road now. I used to run out, but now when you go to these big, and they got 200 people there, and they got 800 entries. But why is there intermediate and expert and expert pro, and
they're going down the same road that on road
I'm like, what the
imploded
hell?
with.
Why can't anybody just be in the H main anymore or the Z main?
Right.
And next year I hope I'm in the Y main when I go.
Yeah, 100%. We're
50
often
plus,
asked
55 plus.
add...
Someone said that you should do that for on-road market. The Canadian Nats make it 55 plus. They said there'd be no other class. They said everybody in on-road's 55 years old. So 90% of the building would be in that class.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably like that. I'm over 55 now, so
there you go. Another one.
But the guys I'm typically racing with aren't. So
okay,
that would be beneficial for me. But
so basically,
I still don't want to. I feel like I'm cheapening myself to race down. Like
so 2 to 3 classes in touring car.
Yeah, I would say you could have your stock and mod and your
VTA or something like that. VTA is
No.
very popular up here. That's our issue.
So I feel like VTA was fun when it was 25.5 motor and the weights were still super heavy. Yeah. I know they're kind of heavy because we keep continuing to lighten touring cars, so then they lighten them.
Yeah.
But then when going to I'm not a fixed motor fan.
Okay.
Because then it goes to, well, how can I get just a little bit better fixed motor? And everybody's like, it's not the motor of the week. But then the guys that are typically doing good are ones who have gone through a bunch of motors and rotors and tried to find just that slight little bit of edge, the same way they would if they were buying another motor. And what I liked and didn't like about Can-Am when that was a thing was that guys that had no clue about motor typically don't have a clue about driving or setup. So they weren't instantly on the same power band as everybody else. They were going slower. So then they were farther back, which made it easier to try and make a pass. And when you have the same exact gearing and motor, those guys then drive over the top of their head, which makes things typically not work out well for anybody in the end. I can appreciate, like, I think for a big race, having a handout motor would be good, that they were all the same, but having it as a general rule for the whole thing, I don't know. I can see the pros and cons of both, but I'm just not a fan.
And 12 scale, how many classes?
I would probably do the GT12 stock and mod.
And stock is 17.5, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think
Okay.
12 scale mod is too fast right now?
You can always turn your stuff down. Like if your class is too fast for you, run a little bit softer of a motor. It'll make you better. You won't wreck as much. Everybody's got plans. Like I was anti-Avalon body, but then the people, the board overruled, and they're like, "Well, it meets the rules." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." But at the end of the day, when people try and run it, and it's legal, it doesn't have a wing that's sticking 20 millimeters above the car. It spins out, and it's horrible. So the market will just say, "Okay, well, it doesn't work as a legal body, so I just won't run it." So the market will figure that out. I mean, it's no different than any other body. Some of the bodies that have came out new have been decent, and some have been horrible, and then they go away.
Yeah.
It's kind of the capitalistic society, I guess, or
And my-
capitalism. What works?
And is it if you lower the weight of the touring car, so you don't have like 100 grams or 120 grams, will they just make the cars lighter and lighter? Like now you're starting to run out of room to put the damn weight in.
Yeah.
Have you guys thought of just lowering it so much so you don't have to put all the weight, or no? Does that mean the cars are just going to get lighter and lighter anyways, and you got to put more weight in?
The weight goes down September 1 to
Okay.
1,300.
100, yeah.
The 1,300.
Yeah. Because like you're explaining, it's kind of silly to have to spend $200 in tungsten to get your car to be legal. I mean, that's probably over exaggerating, but
No, you're pretty
people
up here.
who are
Yeah.
building a touring car know that you either run a ridiculously large battery that nobody wants to run, or you buy a bunch of tungsten to put it in your car as ballast wherever you need it.
I'm sure EAM hates that rule. I'm surprised he let it go. 1320, 1300. I want 1340.
Actually,
Oh.
he was the champion of, hey, I'm already hearing EFRA going to 1300. We should get on board. Like, he's usually on top of all the stuff that's happening trackside. Him and I butt heads all the time, but at the end of the day, we're usually in lockstep once we like both calm down.
Will Sheffield, he's a big supporter of the LMH class. See him posting all the time. Yeah, it's
Sheffield and I
opinion.
go way back. He's a good guy.
Yeah, it's personal preference. Like the way I think, work on stuff, ask questions, go faster. This is racing. This ain't a car show. So
Right.
Hey, Max, remember that was about 5 episodes ago where Max is like, you know what? One class didn't go was World GTR. We got to get rid of it. Well, everybody must have heard because at our local club, it's the most that ever came out on that Saturday. It was the biggest turnout ever.
it was the biggest. It was the biggest. Master Scratch for 1 year old and Ralph Perch.
I don't even know how old he is.
Jordan already did. Yep, 100%. There's a cougar behind you, Clayton.
Yeah, I have cats. They kind of come and go. They're self-sufficient, so I just have to make sure that they have automatic feed and water and litter box, that litter robot, so I can travel. Dogs don't take care of themselves, unfortunately.
No. There's one point I want to bring up, and I noticed it at the Roar Nats this year, and you kind of touched on it, is people running classes maybe that they shouldn't be running. And I know you guys made a rule this year on, I think it was 25.5 LMH, or you had a rule in place that some people couldn't run it if they made an A main.
Yeah, it was kind of too exclusive. So we made it just the champion. So like if you win, you're done in LMH, or I think GT12 is the same way. I wouldn't say that those are beginner classes, but we shouldn't have, Eric Anderson,
Dude, Johnson.
I haven't won a GT12 class, go down and race GT12 just to win. If you're racing a class just to win against lesser competition, you're thinking about this sport the wrong way.
Correct.
I mean, I totally get wanting to win a championship. I finished second many a times, too many to even count. But it's not ever going to make you any faster by racing down.
But so many guys do, Clay. It's like sometimes I get frustrated when I go watch the kid race somewhere, and I'm just like, what the hell is that guy doing in LMH, or what's he doing in this class? Like, let somebody else win. Like, I mean, that's just my attitude. I'm like, you've been racing for so long, and you're so much better. Get the hell out of there. So you could post on Monday. Yeah, God bless you or whatever, right? But
Right.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I think people will get old enough that really their skills diminished. They probably won't win anyways. But they just can't handle a faster class. I haven't seen anybody like that recently, but I could see that as you're getting into maybe your 80s and 90s. I mean, I plan on being 120, so like, I got a long ways to go before I need a master's class.
But 25.5 this year at the Roar Nats and 21.5 was 75-80% the same dudes.
It was, yep.
And you
That's
ask
what I'm
yourself,
saying. We probably just need one stock class because it's pretty much the
exactly.
same guys, anyways. I don't think we'll get that because right now we don't fill it. Although we've gotten much better, we're almost 200 at any on-road carpet race for the last few years, and I'm sure EA's will probably break a record this year because it's a great facility. He treats everybody really good. Everybody knows the track's going to be great. The layout's going to be nice. So I would expect a huge turnout there. But until we get to the point where we don't need the classes, especially when you have 200 entries, if you're only running one class, you're sitting around for so long. Like even the mod guys, they're running mod 12th and mod touring. Most of the 12 scale guys will run their stock touring and super stock touring. I'm sorry, stock 12s and super stock 12s, and touring guys will run stock touring and super stock touring. We probably don't need the VTA USGT, but that is the VTA Nationals track that they host every September, I believe, with their Southern Nationals. They have a really cool program where they do VTA qualifying by your own clock. I think it's 1 minute. You run yourself for 1 minute. The next guy runs for a minute. And that's how you seed everything. It's super fun. Like, it's just a good time.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. That's gonna be a big Roar Nats. I know Donnie's was massive 2 years. Yeah, 2 years ago when we went, it was a great one. This year, again, it was a little bit far, I think, for most people. Probably maybe the reason why turnout was light. Not sure. I went. It was still a great time. That was my first time at Adams Track. Had fun. Ate a lot of tacos. It was a good time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Jordan Mulliner, 25 amateur with champs. No comments on that one. How do you respond to the fast racers and slower passes? Okay, here he re-asked it. How do you respond to the racers that claim their sponsors want them to run in a slower class?
How do I respond? Tell me who and what sponsor, and I'll go talk to them. I don't know. Is he talking about like LMH and?
I don't want to say names on the show because I don't want to people. But there's definitely people that probably should not be running 25.5 at these national events that are running 25.5 because potentially they maybe have payouts if they do good in certain classes. Let's word it like that.
Yeah.
So I would say before 25.5 was the stock class that I could understand that because at the time we had 21.5 and 17.5. But then the country decided that nobody wanted to raise 17.5. So I don't know. Like, I could understand. Like, I have not won a national championship in touring. So if I can ever get that goal, whether it's 25.5 or 21.5, it would mean a lot to me to be able to do. I think because those are the stock classes, that's where the stock guys are running. The other classes, I'm not sure if they're talking about the stock or if they're talking about LMH. So
they're talking about LMH.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just,
That's
there's
the whole
25.5 touring car and then there's 25.5 LMH.
Yeah. So some of the guys that are sponsored are just contract customers, basically.
Like
so
most people.
Yeah. They're not, I wouldn't consider them big name sponsored guys, even the ones who promote themselves well. I would still consider them, your average Joe racer that's traveling and getting better. So I mean, I wouldn't have any hate for them. Everybody's got to start somewhere, even if that's, I ran USGT and VTA exclusively because I was scared of touring car. Every time I tried to put a touring car body on, I'd spin out and do all kinds of crazy things. Not that I don't still spin out and do crazy things. I know there are going to be people out there. I watched you wreck this weekend. Like, I get that. But it honestly, for me, I went and ran the CTS race, and my USGT would have set either pole or top 5 in touring. And people were like, dude, you really need to move up. You're embarrassingly fast in USGT, and you're not going to get any better. And so I did. Like, the California guys were like, hey, come run touring. We'll help you. We'll explain what your car's not doing. And that launched me into, I think that next year I was TQ at Nats in stock touring. So maybe they just need a little nudge by somebody to encourage them to move on up. But
usually we're talking about somebody that was up or is up, and they go, like you said, move down. And knowing that, I heard that, you know what I mean? They won, say, a lower class, and, you know, their entry was paid if they won, you know what I mean, by their sponsor.
Well, then the sponsors need to stop doing dumb things like that. I would say if sponsors aren't encouraging it, it probably won't happen. I mean, I have some people who feel like their sponsors want them to race different classes. And then you ask the question this was for me personally, that the sponsors weren't paying for me to do anything. I was a contract customer, and motor wasn't good. So I'm like, hey, look, I'm coming out there to race these races, but I'm not using our motor. It's horrible. I can't lose 15 feet out of every corner. And they're like, okay, cool. But then I start winning, and they're like, hey, we really need you to stick your motor in. And I'm like, I told you before I started doing this, that wasn't happening. I'm spending thousands of dollars to come out to California and race from the East Coast. Like, I'm not coming out here to maybe make the A. Like, I want to dominate, so I'm going to use what's best.
Yep.
And then I parted ways with them, and I'm still friends with them today. Like, it's all good. But if the sponsor's not paying for your stuff, it's really on you to decide where you're comfortable with. But sponsors should not be paying people out for racing the non-worlds classes. I don't think. That's my opinion.
Yeah, like Max, remember I told you the story about one guy. I guess he shut me up pretty quick because I was busting him saying, how the hell are you running these slope, right? You were so much, you know, you've been running for 25, you know what I mean? And he said, well, what do you want me to do? My local club only runs these classes. So if I did run faster classes, I'd be at the track by myself or whatever. So this is what I run at my local places. So this is what I run when it comes to big events. I sort of got it, but I'm right. Sort of.
I have a retort for that one.
Yeah, you had a good one.
Sam Isaacs
runs
at 180
by
and
himself.
nobody runs mod.
Yeah.
I think they got a couple people last year, maybe one.
Yep.
So most of the time he's just practicing when we're not racing.
Yeah.
So practice the class that you should be in and get faster. Around here, they stopped running 21.5 touring. So I'll run it at a practice session when I'm not traveling around somewhere else, if they're not racing it. So, you know, kind of keep your chops up and then go to big races when you can and learn and get better. But yeah, racing down's not cool.
And something we joke about at our track at home is we've got, you know, we've seen 13.5 go to 17.5 to 21.5 to 25.5. Shit, where are we going next? You know what I mean? Like, when 25.5 gets too fast for these guys or people, you know, are we going to have to go ask companies to make a 27.5 for us next? Like,
so I know at least one motor manufacturer that is working on a different wind, but we have no specs for that in Roar. So that would have to be something we would need to spec or use the first couple that are made to come up with a spec.
Can you give us the wind number?
Like a 30.
We'll go in reverse.
But Clayton said it right, Max, before. Like I always used to say the same thing. The cars are, they're way faster than when I started in the 80s, obviously, right? Yeah. But everybody, you don't have to run that fast. So, you know, some people say it's intimidating. 25.5 is just too fast for even new people. Well, you don't have to run that same speedo setting. You don't have to run that same gear, you know, but they do. And they come out there as a rocket and smash all over the place and then want to pack it in because they keep crashing. No one's willing It's very few are willing to take the time to start slower and work your way. Like when we talk about mod, how cool would it be, mod guys? He said it perfect. Like even our touring mod at our local club now, we're getting more because now there's some guys starting out with an 8.5 in their car.
Yeah.
And they're fine.
You definitely don't need to start mod with a 4.5. Like
no.
that's
But most guys
not
do,
ever
right?
going
Well,
to be the best
I want to
decision.
go as fast as Max. So Max has got a 5.0 win. I'm running a 5.0. Well,
Yeah,
Max has
but
been
you're going to
running
fail.
Yeah.
You're just going to fail faster.
Yeah. And then they give it a week or two, then they pack it in and go back to one of the slower classes where they can handle it instead of working your way up to that speed.
Yeah, at the Legends race that Hoosier had, Matt Francis was there. And I mean, I only know of the legend of Matt Francis, and he was running a stock car, and he was like, this is faster than our mod was. Like, this is ridiculously fast. So it gave an outside perspective of somebody who's been at the top of the sport, coming back in after a while. And of course, he was still a wheel. He still did really good. Great to get him back in. But it was nice to see somebody from a long time ago now run something that's considered stock and go, whoa, this is not stock.
I showed Max an old video from like 88 Cleveland, 12 scale mod, Tony Nestor, all these big names there. And they say, go, Max is watching. He goes, with that GT12? I'm like, no, that's 12.
It's so slow.
They were flying back then, buddy. He goes, that's GT12. I'm like, nah. I'm like, that was the 12th mod, baby.
But Sean Rayfield brought up a great point last week on the show when he started training Ryan Stevens, 12 scale driver, and he started with a 17.5 foam car, but he turned the radio down to 70%. And slowly worked his way up. Just because it's 75 foam doesn't mean you have to come out with fully 100% 17.5 foam.
Correct.
But I think that's something that we also need to consider now. Instead of making a slow class, just slow your car down a little bit till you learn, and then run the class as it is. So we don't have to have 12 different classes at a big national event or 15 or whatever we're getting to now.
Yeah, I don't think people understand if you drive with 70% throttle and make zero mistakes, you're probably a lot faster than 100% throttle and hitting 12 turns.
Yeah.
Yep.
True.
100%. We got some questions here. Is there not fatigue at big race like snowbirds where you only get 40 minutes of track time, 5-day event?
Is there like
fatigue?
You have 2 days of practice. I'm not understanding that question. You have a million %.
You get a lot of track time there
at snowbirds. I know some of the big races, some of the big off-road races, because they're 800 entries, I think they get 2 practice sessions, then they're going into seating or quals.
Yeah.
So there is very limited track time. I've got that. Even the first off-road 8 scale that we did at Chico, there was a couple kids that came up and they were like, this is so awesome. We've been to DNC and all these other races, and we got like 15 minutes of track time. And here we got like a half an hour of track time the day one, and it just continues to give us more and more. And I'm like, oh, that's great. It's good news. Thank you.
Yeah. About 25 foul. So we run the state series. Very nice. Hasn't it always been stock, super stock and mods? Yeah, but now we got LMH in the mix. We got VTA. We got USGT. We got all kinds of front wheel drive.
I don't think
now
it always has. I think that at one point it was just 27 turn brushed and mod, and then maybe they had a
19 turn
brush days.
A 19 turn came in after a little while, so there was 19 turn. So some mod guys had run a 19 turn as well.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Okay. Pinion will be larger. Yep. 60 pinion, 50 spur. That'll be the fast way to go. That's the hot setup right there. You heard it from me first. I want to transition a little bit. We've been kind of shitting a little bit now. Talk some good stuff. You've made some huge strides with Roar since you took over. The team's been doing a phenomenal job. As you said, Facebook's been getting better and better and better. What are some accomplishments that you're most proud of that you've guys done as a team together in your last X amount of years as president?
I think the thing that I'm most there's a few things, but the first thing that comes to mind is running the events well. I didn't feel like the racers were treated well. The events were smooth. So that was one of the first things I did was get rid of the race director or the RMT team manager and bring in somebody that I knew did good stuff. The other thing is when I took over Roar was basically bankrupt. We were about $30,000 in debt, and things were not going super well. So last year we actually made money. We should have that posted shortly. I think we're waiting for the accountants to put it up there. But the year before we didn't lose money. I think we made like $9,000 or something at the end of the day. So turning around the organization that was hemorrhaging money and making the events run smoother. Sure, we've updated rules and gotten more in line with the rest of the world and trying to stay on top of things as they change. But I think the biggest accomplishment was making the events fun. Because if the events aren't fun and they're not fair, then nobody's going to want to come to a race. Like, why would you?
Yeah, no, 100%. And I can't say I've been to Roar Nats in the past before the management, but I can say now that they've been run exceptionally well. I don't even have a complaint to say. Nothing comes to mind. I don't even know. From the practice to the 2 lines to the seeding rounds, the qual points and qualifying is amazing. The refereeing on the track has been very fair. It's a very tough job. I would not want to do that job at all. But that's been fair. I've seen it all the races I've watched. So, no, you guys have been doing a great job from someone who's newer into the hobby, newer to the Roar Nats racing it. I have no complaints.
Sweet. I'm sure there are, but just let us know. Yeah. I mean, typing them out on the keyboard on Facebook without letting us know isn't ever going to fix it. So,
yeah, don't sit at your computer at home in your basement when your wife's upstairs yelling at you dinner's ready, typing shit on Facebook. It's not going to work. A big topic lately has been attracting new racers to the hobby. There's been many complaints that races are too long, expensive. Have you guys been developing any ideas or anything come to mind how we can attract new people to the hobby?
So we did shorten events. Not all of them, but a lot of them are day shorter now. We're doing 2 seating, a qual on Friday, 3 quals Saturday, main Sunday. Instead of having the Wednesday through Sunday, it's now a Thursday through Sunday. So we are addressing that. Getting new people in, we have not talked about it. I see, like I said, the Hobbytown track here is good at it, having the entry-level classes where you can just go buy a Traxxas Slash or a Losi NASCAR, throw a transponder in it, come outside, and they're even using the Mini Z transponders for like $35. Yep. Like super simple. I think that's where the sport needs to be to get people there. At nationals, it would be cool to have a beginner track outside with Traxxas Slashes or Losi NASCARs for people that are coming to watch, that get their hands on it and see things. But there hasn't been any focus on our part to try and get people in. The focus has been more cleaning up our backyard and trying to get things done right.
And how much do you think, again, I don't know the old president, how much do you think you being an active racer and, EA is obviously an active racer for IFMAR, how big of a role does that play in being a president and becoming a better president in the future? How important do you think that is for your role?
I think it helps because if you're not out there talking to the drivers, then you're probably not getting the feedback, or good or bad. I don't know that is a necessity. Like the previous president was a track owner, so he should see drivers all the time, and he was going to races every once in a while to get the feedback from people. I think it's more like an agnostic mindset. Look at it from multiple perspectives. Try and make things better for everybody for the long term, not for short term. Just stuff like that. I do have a hard stop though at 9:30. I didn't give you that heads up, but I had some stuff made out of carbon that I have to get.
No, that's
It's all good, my friend. It's been a jam-packed hour and 20 thus far.
Yeah, I didn't even feel like it's been an hour and 20. It just flew by.
We say it all the time. It flies by, and next thing you know, we're at $1:45, and it's like, oh shit! Like, it's
I can come back another time too. I'm all about social media.
We had Drew for 3 hours, right? Was Drew 3 hours?
Drew, I don't know if you watched that
Drew's a
episode.
talker.
Oh, we brought Drew on, and Drew's a great guy. But Drew asked his own question. He answered his own questions. He's already booked himself back on the show for a second time. He's already thinking about a third time.
Yeah.
And he's already telling me how great of a job he did. So Showtime and I, we did nothing. We had to do nothing.
Just not
I sat here for 3 hours listening. It was amazing. I saw his whole life in his own eyes in 3 hours. It was amazing. So we'll have Drew back on. But Mike here says you done an excellent job. Now we get you an on-road car. So that's the question we're going to finish off. Over here, we got format of the races should be different, like F2, sprint race with inverted grid or single qualifier and triplet. Yeah, I think there's a lot of cool. I think we already agreed we need less qualifying and more racing. I think inverting a grid would be cool. I think a sprint race would be cool. Definitely something to talk about. Drew interviews are epic, and I went through a lot of water sitting there talking. So the last question I have for you, because you're kind of in the middle, you go to off-road races, you go to on-road races. How much better is on-road compared to off-road?
He's not gonna answer. He's gonna answer.
Because I saw pictures of what was this weekend? Wiki Weekend? No.
Yeah.
Was it Wiki Weekend?
360 people, 800 something entries, but there'll be another race next weekend with the same amount.
Yeah.
But did you see the photos of the craters in the track?
Yeah. I
saw a photo of a guy laying in the crater.
That's how it should be, though.
That's crazy.
Old school off road, but they'll probably complain that it was too bumpy.
Yeah. They definitely do like track with characteristics. Like, I'm not good enough to adjust to a track that's changing where the lane is and bumps are and all that. That's too much for my brain to comprehend, I guess. I like knowing if I go down the line in the groove that there's going to be traction.
Oh, don't answer that, Clayton. The guy doesn't like chance.
But at LCRC, it definitely was fun. They were maintaining the track the whole time, though, so it never got out of control.
Yeah. No, just messing around. A question,
little
thing we have in between. So,
I mean, here at Coastal, it was mostly off-road people, so I got buggies and ran some off-road and prayed whenever my car left the air or left the carpet that it would come down in the right place.
Okay, we'll end it on this then. What has been your favorite class to race in RC across the board, every discipline?
Favorite class to race in RC? I did some dirt oval. Ryan Mayfield made a dirt oval car or a sprint car that I ran at Hobby Action, and I think that was the most fun. Was that thing would drive itself. Ryan Mayfield knows how to make a car
work.
Yeah.
It's growing here too, and we've seen some guys get the dirt sprint cars, and it looks like a blast. And you see some other guys build some for fun on club racing nights, so it looks like a blast. But dirt oval is not under Roar, right? Correct.
No, not yet.
Okay, not yet.
We had it. We were on the cusp of it, and Pullman was Justin Allgaier's crew chief, and they won the championship that year. And he's like, "Oh, dude, I'm sorry, I have to bail on you. I got too busy. You know, when you win a Xfinity championship, then everybody wants you." And I think he's at Childress now, or just left Childress. So, yeah, we're trying to get an oval rep. There's been tracks that want to do. We even had an oval regional, so that went well down in Florida. It was on concrete, I believe. But no, we need to get rules in our rule book for oval before we can hold a national event. I don't think we're that far off, but we haven't done it yet.
Cool. Last discipline, Mini Z. Mark and I have our thoughts on it. We're not going to say it on the show, but I do want to hear your thoughts on Mini Z because it's been growing. Again, what do you think? Is it going to become under Roar eventually? What's your thoughts?
I'm told after years of no real regulation that there is somebody that is making some rule sets for it now. I don't know. I've not wanted to open that Pandora's box, especially without getting oval back in the fold. I didn't want to take on another regulatory thing and having to have multiple races in different places. So I think it's probably a cool thing for me. I don't know that I can focus on small parts enough to work on a 1/28 scale car. 12 scale is kind of my limit, and I don't even really work on those. I give them to Dixon and say, hey, make this thing go better.
Yeah, it's not good when you need a magnifying glass to find your spring.
Yeah, I'd probably have that big like lit magnifying thing that you just stick down and work on it if I had to make one of them.
Yeah, it looks small. Well, Clayton, again, it's been a very fast hour and a half. We'll definitely have to get you back on to talk more, especially when our on-road season starts again and whatnot. But Ed, man, thank you very much for all you do for the community. Thank you very much for what you do for Roar. It's been awesome to see the progress you guys done. And thank you very much for coming on the show tonight. It's been a blast.
It's been awesome. Very professional. I love it.
Wow.
Wow.
What?
Must be talking about you, no? Not me.
I mean, you guys had questions canned. You were ready to go. Everything was on time. It's very good.
Yeah, we have a lot of more questions. I got 36 more questions lined up ready for you, but
okay,
we don't have 36 hours.
Yeah, we'll do it a different time when I didn't have to go get some parts.
When we get closer to the on-road season as well, it'd be cool to have you back on and see what's changed when we come September, October. Right?
Okay.
When the melee happens and more classes want to emerge out of somewhere come September.
And everyone hates Clayton.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk then.
That's good.
Well,
I'll clean up my image at that point.
But thank you very much, man. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for supporting us, and go get your carbon parts, my friend.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
no
you.
No problem, Clayton. Have a good night.
Good night.
Beautiful. Another quick show there with Clayton Young, Roar president.
Good, Maxie.
It's been a blast.
Yeah, buddy.
It's again goes by quick. I have so many questions for Clayton, and Clayton's done a great job, as we keep saying. So hats off to Clayton and his team.
Yes. And McBride says Drew can answer those next other 36 questions.
No, he won't, because he'll create his own 36 question and answer those first, and I'll still be on question 1. I think with the Drew episode, I asked him. I think I said, Drew, how did you get into the hobby? What was your? And then next thing you know, we're 3 hours later, and we're talking about how he almost won this past World Championship. And I keep looking for my drink, and I was like, oh my. Oh, it was good. It was good. We're going to get Drew on again.
Oh, for sure, buddy.
Yeah.
That was great, buddy. I learned stuff about Roar. Those are a couple of questions I had, which he answered, which is fantastic. And it's a tough job. It's like being a referee in hockey. Come on, you're referee in hockey. You step on the ice, they boo you already. You haven't even made a call yet. It's just like Roar, but you need Roar. I don't care what anybody tells me. You need a governing body. You need some rules.
You have to, and no matter what you do, someone's going to love it, someone's going to hate it.
Well, yeah.
That's the way it goes. But you have to do it for the best of the sport and best of the community, and I think they've done a great job. Sprinkles on. Sprinkles probably already in bed with his Calgary hat on.
Oh yeah, McBride's great.
He drove for 6 hours and he only got halfway through the show. That's what happened. He needs another road trip to listen to the other half of the show.
Sprinkle's already sleeping, isn't he?
Sprinkle's already sleeping. Probably bending his car over his knee. We'll end it here. We're off again next week. Next week's Canadian holiday, so we're off. We're rescheduling Drew, but after that, we got Jacob Cruz. We got Scotty Ernst coming on, so those will be some great shows coming up. We got a few things coming up. But thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I hope everyone has...
Sprinkles is... yeah.
Sprinkles is the only guy I know that has DC shoes. Do you even know what DC shoes are?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what they are.
Oh, because it's old. That's why.
He doesn't have them, does he still?
We were at the Rose City on Friday. He had a fresh pair on. Just bought.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Middleman Max. That's how I am on the track. Right in the middle, baby. No bottom, no top, right in the center. Well, everybody, have a good night. We're off next week, but we'll be posting a lot of stuff throughout the week. We got some more Global RC Voices coming out. So have a good night, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. We are out.
Thank you.
See you, Showtime.
See you, Maxie.